Yoel Romero versus Phil Davis. Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis put it on Yoel. That first round, I mean, it was like fairly competitive, I would say. But then you see Davis higher volume. Romero's defense is like really good. The way he slips punches, he even brings out like a Mayweather-esque shoulder roll. Good moments for both guys, really more so Davis, though. Nothing significant landed really for Romero in that first round. More volume by Davis. He put the pace on him, had Romero moving away or just standing stationary. The low volume in that first round was serious for Romero, so it put him behind already. And let's not forget, he's 44, and I do believe he started getting a little bit tired, right? So then going into the second round, Phil Davis is starting to get off better shots. They both had a couple of moments. You look earlier in that second round, nice right hand landed by Romero. Doesn't really stun Phil, but he definitely feels the shot. Then Phil Davis having some moments of his own, lands the big takedown at the end of the round, which, I mean, taking down a silver medalist, Yoel Romero, in that moment, that was huge because Romero is not a guy that gets taken down. Mr. Wonderful is a high-level wrestler as well, national champion collegiately. It's different styles of wrestling. You heard the commentary team talking about it, but still, it's a huge accolade to be able to out-wrestle Yoel. And then you go into round three, and Phil Davis absolutely puts it on Romero. Dominant round, potential 10-8. Takedown after takedown after takedown, top control, forward pressure, good ground and pound. He kneed the hell out of Romero's ribs. Romero's made out of steel, obviously, so I don't think he'll have any broken ribs, but a normal person probably would because Phil Davis unloaded on those ribs with fantastic knees. It was a great performance, and at the end of it, there was zero question in my mind who won that fight. We go to the judges' scorecards, and what does one judge do? Scores the fight 29-28. Yoel Romero. On what planet did Yoel Romero win 2 rounds? There's no argument for that. That's a terrible scorecard. And how was that last round not a 10-8? So a draw, at least if they said majority decision, I'd be like, well, they're crazy. But they gave respect to Davis in that last round. No, scores it for Yoel. Nuts. Not true. Even Yoel Romero after the fight says to Phil, listen, bro, that wasn't a unanimous decision. That was clearly bullshit by that judge. It was all Phil Davis. He put on a great display. He moves himself forward in this division. Who does he fight next? He's in a very awkward position. Maybe if Rumble's able to come back sometime in the relative near future, you do Phil Davis versus Rumble Johnson too. I'd be intrigued by that rematch. Outside of that, maybe he fights a loser of one of the semifinalists in the tournament or somehow even fights the winner if it's not Vadim Nemkov. That's really what it's going to be based upon. If it's Nemkov, it's going to be hard selling that third fight with not at least 2 fights removed. You know, Phil's going to need another one. I don't know who that opponent will be. Somebody potentially will step up. They'll find somebody. But for Romero, what's next for him? Because this was huge. This was a fight that he was expected to perform greatly in, you know, a lot of high expectations for him. Granted, he was the underdog on the lines. It was very close money. The way he got beat looked like he was more of a widespread dog. What's next for him? Well, he's under Bellator contract. I'm assuming it's more than a 1-fight contract. So let's say he has to come back to Bellator. If he can make 185, I know people would be interested in him in Gegard. I'd be interested in it. I don't care about the 4-fight losing streak. It's Yoel Romero at 185. I think they could make that fight. But the weight cut's going to be extremely difficult. Romero looked bigger than ever. His back looked insane. His traps looked even bigger. The man is a mountain. His arms, I mean, everything grew on Yoel Romero. So I don't even know if he could make 185 anymore. If he could, give him the fight versus Gegard. But if he can't, who is somebody that we're going to be able to match him up with? Well, Corey Anderson, Ryan Bader, loser, assuming Bader, if he loses, doesn't want to jump a weight class. That's definitely realistic. Does he end up fighting Vadim Nemkov if Nemkov somehow loses to Anglikas? That's absolutely possible. Or even Rumble Johnson. Now, if somehow they can get him into boxing, I think you could potentially do him and Anderson Silva. I think you could do him and Vitor Belfort. I don't know what his interest is in, but I know there's been statements by Yoel in the past that he loves boxing, and I could see him crossing over. At least when his Bellator contract ends, that's probably the route he'll go. This guy wants to keep on fighting and fighting and fighting. He's a true OG and he's making good money. At the end of the day, though, rough performance. It was a bad loss. I don't see him fighting for that Bellator title in the light heavyweight division. I don't think he has the size at light heavyweight, not muscle-wise, not strength-wise, but it's really the reach disadvantage. I don't think he's as fast as he used to be. He carries a lot of power, but really doesn't throw a jab or mix in any combos. He looks for looping, wide, powerful shots. He doesn't wrestle at all either, and his wrestling defense looked no offense, but atrocious against the cage. This is now potential weaknesses. Other guys will see this. Orion Bader would see this. Or Corey Anderson will see this. Put him against the cage, and that's where you wrestle him. Don't get him in the center of the octagon, because that's where a guy who's a freestyle wrestler would be most strong, most comparable to his sport. But you get him against the cage, this is a whole new experience. And let's be honest, Yoel Romero off of his back has no Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu offense. There's not going to be any submission attempts. Not much of a threat. It's looking to get back up to his feet. That is it. Granted, even if he did have attempts, I don't think he's going to get Phil Davis out of there doing submission attempts, throwing up triangles. You're not tapping Phil Davis. Phil's never been finished by knockout or by submission. Lots of fun fights potentially. Disappointed Romero lost, if you're a fan, but also great to see Phil Davis get a win. He's a great guy, one of the nicer guys in the fight game, maybe one of the nicest guys in the fight game. Gave a nice tribute to his parents after the event. Overall, was a very fun main event. I'm excited to see what's next for both guys. I thought it delivered an entertainment value, but I will say, Romero, gas tank still a question for me. Maybe too much muscle on him. We'll see what's next for him. He's 44. If he did hang it up after this, I wouldn't be superbly disappointed, but I don't think he will. He's under contract. He'll want to be back. It's funny, too. After the fight, he was like, wait, no. I thought it was 5 rounds. It's 5 rounds. It's not 5 rounds, brother. You know it was 3 rounds. Did you not look at any of the paperwork? You didn't listen to any of the promos? 3 rounds, baby. Come on, Yoel. But overall, good fight, good card. Great to see Phil Davis get a dub. Yoel Romero, he will be back. Much love to everybody tuning in. Smash the hell out of that like button. Need a good amount of likes, baby. Just smash it. If you're new, subscribe and turn on those post notifications. You do not want to miss a video here at MMA Experts. We're covering all things MMA. We got full card breakdowns, individual breakdowns, post-fight reactions, live fight companions, and also that AJ Unfiltered series with trending MMA news and reactions. So much love, everybody. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video.